All right, I think I am live in like 3 places. I am using StreamYard for the first time, so bear with me as I get used to this. So I should be live in my Facebook group, I should be live on YouTube, and I should be live on my Facebook page. So if you are seeing me, please help me out and leave me a comment below, and let me know that I am in the right place and you guys can see me. I'm excited to speak about what we're going to be talking about tonight because it is a very, very common thing that is happening. So I see Craig, I see Toya, hello, hello. I know if you're in my Facebook group, I might not be able to see your name, so just let me know your name in the comments when you comment so I know who it is, okay? But I wanna say welcome. I'm excited that you guys are here. Thank you, Donna, for letting me know that you can see me, and Tracy as well. I can see your name, so this is awesome. Okay, so So tonight we are talking about gaslighting. So let me know in the comments if you know what gaslighting is and if you've ever been a quote unquote victim of gaslighting. I know that I have, and I know that there's so many people out there that have been victims of gaslighting. So tonight I really want to talk about, I'm more about taking our power back, but in order to take our power back from narcissistic, toxic people, and these could just, it doesn't have to be romantic all the time. It can be family members. It can be friendships. It's a manipulation tactic that narcissistic people use in order to take power over the relationship. So it's really important that we understand what it is and we understand how not to be victimized by it and not to let it destroy our self-worth. So if you are here and you're excited for this, give me a thumbs up. Give me a like whatever platform you're on. It's weird for me to do both at once. So give me a thumbs up if you guys are excited to hear what I have to say. So tonight I'm really going to get into what gaslighting is, because we might know a little bit, or we might think we know a little bit as to what it really is, but I'm going to go through a bunch of different things that what gaslighting can look like. Because when you're involved in a narcissistic relationship, toxic, right? This is where they make you feel like you're the crazy one. And that's what gaslighting is. And there's a lot more manipulation that narcissists do. And you can check that if you're on my YouTube channel. If you're not, you can go over to my YouTube channel. And on the home page, I have a narcissism playlist that really dives into narcissism. And I created it like 3 years ago. But it really dives into narcissism and the manipulation that they use, because sometimes we can't even realize what that is or what it looks like because we're so deep into the relationship and they've got us so worn down that we can't really even see it. All right. So thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. All right. So let's see. My whole thing here is that awareness is key. I always teach that. If you've been in any of my challenges in my Facebook group, like I always teach awareness. So we have to be aware of what gaslighting looks like, because if we don't know what it looks like, then we're going to fall victim to it, because we're not going to understand, and we're going to start to doubt ourselves, and we're going to start to think like, am I really crazy? Like, did I really see that? Am I making that up? Is he lying? Is he not lying? And we're going to start to doubt ourselves, which is exactly what the narcissist wants us to do. They want to confuse us. They want us to go back and forth, because the more we do that, the more we need their validation as codependents, okay? And codependency, if you haven't heard of it, is really just about needing the validation outside of yourself. It's not about depending on people with money. It's not about depending on people for, materialistic things. It's more about finding our happiness that's supposed to be in here out there. So we hold on to people because they make us happy. And even if it's for a little bit, right? Even if 90% of the relationship is bad, but we get that 10% of feeling good about ourselves, we're going to hold on to that. And I'm going to talk more about it at the end of this video. We should be here for maybe about 30 minutes, okay? And then at the end, I'm also going to ask you to help me out with something, okay? So let's get to it, guys. Awareness about gaslighting. So I'm going to go through, and I have my notes here because that's how I roll. Make sure that I cover everything I want. What gaslighting looks like. All right. So I'm going to go through them here. So flat out is just lies, right? Lies. They will lie to you, look you straight in the eye and tell you a flat out lie. And you actually know it's a lie, but they will still do that and say, no, it's not a lie. Like, it's the truth. And they will flat out look at you in the eyes and tell you this lie, even though you know it's a lie. So that is kind of like, you know that they're lying. So this is like one of the things that you're probably more aware of. Okay. The other thing that they'll do is they will deny that they ever said something or did something. So if you say, and what I love is how they go like this. If you say, well, back then, like maybe 2 years ago, you said blah, 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 right? They'll say, I never said that. And why are you bringing up something from 2 years ago, right? They will get to you that way. So all of a sudden they start to really make you think like, oh my gosh, he's right. Like, why am I bringing up something from 2 years ago? Because they want to put the blame back on you. And that's really what gaslighting is, and how they manipulate you and get you in this state of being on the defense, right? Being like, ooh, rather than being like, no, I know I'm right and I have a right to feel this way. But they will start to gaslight you like that. Okay. So denying that they ever said something, denying that they ever did something. And then if you bring it up again, like you don't believe them, they will start to find things in what you're saying to put it back on you. Why are you even talking about this? What, you don't trust me? So there's a lot of manipulation that takes place there. The other thing that gaslighting looks like, I've got about like 10 of these, so stick with me, guys. The other thing that gaslighting looks like is using someone that is dear to you. So this could be a best friend. This could be your children. This is very, very common with children. Let me know in the comments, guys, if this is resonating with you, if you've been through this, or if you're having like an aha moment as to, wow, this is really what's happening with me. But they will use like your children. And they will use what is kind of sentimental to you, like as your children or your best friend or family members, and they will use them to get to you. So say, for instance, if someone says to me, like my ex, when everything was going down, we were going on vacation and I didn't want him to come with us. And it was like a week before we were going. And he would say, but the kids need me there, but the kids want to see me. And they will use the children in order to get to you. So that weighs on your heart and you start to feel like, oh, they do need you. They do want to see you. So I should let you come, and I should stay in this marriage because the kids need us together, right? And they will use these people that are very close to you. They could also use like in a more different way, they can use like your best friend and be like, well, that's not what your best friend said. And they can start to play people against you as well. So that's another thing that gaslighting looks like. The other thing, love this one, they wear you down over time. And I always say, like, watch out for narcissists because they will weasel their way back in. And this really has to do with like boundaries. It's two play, right? One is about like, just manipulating you and gaslighting you and making you feel like you're crazy a little at a time. And they will just wear you down and wear you down. But the other thing that narcissists will do is that they will make you feel like they are respecting your boundaries, but then little by little, they will do something that is like pushing it a little bit. And then you're like, well, I don't want to say anything. And then they'll push it a little bit more. And then they'll be like, well, what? Right? And they'll make you feel bad for then establishing the boundary again because they're pushing it. So therefore they're like, oh, and they'll make you feel bad. They'll say something about like, well, it was okay yesterday, but like, why can't I do it today? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, blah, blah, blah. They'll make you feel like you're the crazy one because they're overstepping your boundaries, yet you're the one that is like, again, reinforcing it. And then they'll put that back on you. Okay. So they'll wear you down over time. I remember we had separated for a while and somehow he weaseled his way back into my bedroom. And it's like, when it happened, I was like, I don't even know how this happened. And it's because a little by little, they get back to where they were. The other thing that gaslighting looks like here is their actions do not match their words. Now, this is huge. And especially if you're just dating, especially online dating, like you cannot listen to what they're saying because it's all lies, right? It's lies. So you need to watch their actions. Do not listen to what they're saying, especially on online dating, because they will get you to fantasy world real fast. However, you need to watch their actions. If they say like they really like you, but they're not calling you or they're not texting you and you only hear from them once in a while, like their actions are not matching their words. So you really have to watch their actions. For me, it's watching them when they don't know that I'm watching. So that's where they're going to show their true character. But their actions, so they will say like, I love you, or they'll say like, I didn't do that, yet their actions are not matching. And for us, for codependents or empaths, like we will believe in them, right? We want to believe in the good of everybody. So when we do that, we're believing what they're saying, but we're not trusting ourselves to actually look at their actions behind it and really kind of step up and be like, you know what, this isn't really who he is, right? And I'm using he because I work with women. Although men, I love you too. I get so many comments from you guys, and I really do love you, but I know that I can help women more. Okay. So I love you guys. The other thing that will happen here with gaslighting is positive reinforcement. So they will, treat you bad. They might even physically abuse you. They might even sexually abuse you, but then they'll do something really, really sweet, or they'll tell you that they love you. They'll, shame you in one comment and then tell you how much they love you in another. And especially as codependents and empaths, we hold on to the good. We hold on to that positive reinforcement, the love that they say they have for us. And this is where you start to be like, well, he just beat me, but he does love me. So I guess it's okay. Or it's okay that he beat me because he went through this, right? Somebody passed away, or he lost his job, or something like this, but he says he loves me, or he bought me flowers, or he cheated on me, but then he took me on vacation. So he must love me. He must be sorry. And we make these things up in our mind, which is part of the, manipulation, and it's part of being codependent and everything. So we have to trust their actions and make sure that little bit, and somebody says here, I can't see your name, I'm sorry, but it says hold on to the crumb. So it's like little crumbs that they leave for us that we are holding on to so tight, because if we didn't get the love that we needed as a child, which I'll go into in a little bit, then that little crumb fulfills us for that moment. And like we hold on to that moment. And I know I work with a lot of women who, are still in the marriage, but we hold on to that good and we want that good back. And I did the Get Over Your Ex course where it's like, we hold on to what we thought we could have with this person, but it was not real. It wasn't reality ever. So you really have to watch when they're telling you that they love you by giving you that little crumb, that little piece of happiness to hold on to, but they're treating you like crap like 90% of the time. So definitely be aware of that as well. They also, for gaslighting, it also looks like confusion. So they are really kind of, they're purposefully confusing you. They want to confuse you because when you're confused, you want to hold on to somebody that has the answers, right? So when they're confusing you, you now are going to kind of depend on them and need them. So they want that. They want that attachment. And just remember, like narcissists want supply. That's all they want. They want somebody to supply them with their ego, tell them how great they are, or just be there for them. Even if, and I've done this in a separate video where sometimes, it's not all love. Like you are supplying the narcissist when you're fighting as well, because you are showing that you care and they want you to care about them and they want you to feed their ego. So that is, so you want to be really cautious about kind of being confused and then depending on them because they've got you at that point. All right, let me look at some of these comments. Could you use closed captioning, please? I can't hear well. Sharon, I do believe that they will be closed captioning after that. That's also why I'm using StreamYard. Nadia, yep, went through this for years and thought I was a crazy one. Yeah, and I work with a lot of women who feel like they're crazy. They've lost themselves in the relationship because they don't even know who they are anymore because they spend so much time trying to figure out the narcissist that they lose them. They don't even work on themselves, take self-care, any of that. It's an illusion, somebody says. Can you tell me your name if you're on my Facebook group? Velvet says men can totally be victims to this behavior as well. Absolutely. I totally get that. Yes. There are men and women narcissists and there's men and women codependents. So I'm speaking to all of you right now, although I do work with women in my programs. Okay. Nancy, I deserve more than crumbs. Exactly. They break you down so much that when they do throw you a crumb, you are so awe of it, thinking that they really do love you. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see, Drea, I think it's how I sometimes catching myself reacting ways that I learned from these types of relationships. Yeah. I never heard of gaslighting as a term. Yeah. Narcissism has a whole thing, and you can check out my narcissism series on the YouTube channel on the homepage. Okay. Oh, Sandy. Hi, Sandy. Melissa, do they know they're confusing you? You know, it's funny. I really do. I think subconsciously they know that they're confusing you. And I think because of so many lies that they tell, I do think consciously some of them know that they are confusing you as well. I think the manipulation that some of them do is subconsciously, like they don't even know that they're doing it, but they're so hollow inside that they do it anyway, and they don't care about it. And that's my line of narcissism, just to let you know, is the lack of empathy. They don't care how much they're hurting you, as long as you are supplying them with what they need. Amy says, I'm a fabulous chameleon, but I have no clue who I am. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so let me keep going. So we've got also projection. So this is when you think they're cheating on you and you say to them, you know, where were you? Or have you cheated on me? And then they will project it onto you. Or I'm sorry, let me back up. This is when they will go, are you cheating on me? Right? Because they are cheating on you, but you're not cheating on them. Yet they're projecting their behavior onto you. So this could be lying, this could be cheating, it could be anything, hanging out with, it could be anything. But they're projecting what they're doing onto you because now they're feeling, I wouldn't say guilty, but if they're doing it, they're thinking, well, maybe you're doing it too. So definitely if someone is accusing you of cheating, you will definitely want to be like, well, why are you accusing me of cheating? I'm home with the kids all the time. I don't even have a minute to go out. Like I haven't even dressed up in like 2 months. Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's so far-fetched for them to actually accuse you of it, where you're like, it doesn't even make sense. This could be projection that they're doing this to you. All right. So be very, very aware of that. The other thing that gaslighting looks like is aligning people against you. So these are called flying monkeys. Especially if you cause a narcissistic injury. When you cause a narcissistic injury, that means like you're putting like a sword in their heart, into their ego, really. And they want to like attack. And when you cause that narcissistic injury, they will get everybody on their side by telling lies about you. They will get people to attack you as well. And attack could be physically, but more what I'm talking about is verbally, emotionally. They will get people, your best friends, against you. I work with a lot of women who have had their friends, especially if they've had couple friends together, they will spill lies to everybody. I know when I was going through it, I had to unfriend all of his friends who were my friends at the time after almost 10 years together, his family members and everything like that too, because they all believed what he was saying, which was not the truth. All right. So I wanted to unfriend them because I didn't want to see them in my feed and stuff like that. So they will get, and they're called flying monkeys when they get other people to kind of come at you. So that's what they're called, flying monkeys. So they will align people against you, and you have to be prepared for that. Like right now I'm going through something, and I'm prepared for that, to know that, okay, there might be people that are going to say things to me because they're going to listen to the story from this person. And then they might just call you crazy. Like they literally will just call you crazy and say, you're crazy. Like you belong in a loony bin. And then if, at any time, if somebody says something to you so many times, you start to believe it. So do not let people tell you that you're crazy. You have a right to your feelings and your emotions, but they might also tell other people that you're crazy, which is what I was just talking about, where, they are, telling everybody lies, their side of the story, but not really hearing your side of the story. So with those, and I'm going to get into like how not to let this get to you. So I'll get to that in a little bit. And then the other thing that they will definitely do is tell you that everybody else is lying. So if people are coming to you and telling you that they saw them out, or, that he did this or saw this, whatever, they will say that, oh, they're lying. Or like your mom says something, that something that happened, you get what I'm saying, but they'll say that those people are lying. Okay. Yeah, Veronica says, yes, look, your mom is crazy. Exactly. Exactly. They will tell other people you're crazy, and then will also call you crazy. And then they will also make you feel like you can't trust anybody else around you. And with narcissists, they will definitely try to isolate you as much as possible. They will try to move you away from your family and your friends. They will try to get between your family and friends so that they have you isolated, because when you are isolated, then you're more prone to stay with them because you have nobody else to go to. And that is a really crappy feeling. Okay. So definitely. So that is what I have for gaslighting. How do you guys feel about that? Kim says flying monkeys. Oh yeah. Hi, Stacy. Yes, he said I was psychotic. Exactly. Yep. Always said I'm the problem. Yeah. So that is gaslighting, because they don't hold accountability for any of their actions. They usually don't apologize. And if they do, it might be sarcastic, or it might just be to please you for the second, but they're not truly sorry. So they will definitely put everything back on you. So you want to be very careful and realize that you are not the crazy one. You're not the crazy one, but this is just called gaslighting. And this is actually a thing, and it is what they do. It comes from a movie, which I didn't see. It's like way back. It's like a black and white movie back then, where this guy just made this woman feel like absolutely crazy. And that's where, and I think the name of the movie is Gaslighting, something like that. But it comes from this movie back then. Tracy says, my medium said he was a narcissist and to stay away from him. He told me not to listen to her. Yeah, of course. Of course he will. Charlotte, you said why. I'm not sure why, or what you're speaking of. You have to weather a smear campaign when you've done nothing wrong. Yeah, and that sucks. It literally just sucks. But you have to prepare for that. And I'm going to go into now kind of like how to not let you destroy you. If you guys are getting value out of this, can you like pop me, say value in the comments? Let me know that I'm helping you in some way. That would be cool. That happened to me. Moved to another state, became very isolated. Yeah. Nancy, we believe we're crazy because we are so emotional from their actions. Yeah. Do people gaslight? Yeah. Charlotte, yes. Oh, why do people gaslight? Is that, yeah. Why do people gaslight? Because it gains control over the relationship, over the person. So if you think you're the crazy one, you're going to believe everything that this person is saying, because you can't trust yourself anymore. You doubt yourself, you don't trust yourself, and then you stay in the relationship. So the more they can gaslight you, first of all, they don't want to take accountability for what their actions are. And then second, it's that because the more you're confused, the more you're upset, the more you just don't understand, you're going to stay with the person. Okay, so value. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's move on. All right, so how to not let it destroy you. I work with a lot of women that get destroyed from this kind of stuff because we doubt ourselves. We don't trust ourselves anymore, especially our intuition, right? I talk a lot about intuition on this channel, in this group too. But it destroys our trust in ourselves, our trust in our intuition. It destroys our self-worth, because if we're the crazy one, we're doing things wrong all the time. It makes us feel like less of a person, that you're not good enough. You believe what they're saying about you. So this will destroy your self-worth. And this is why if you get out of the relationship, you keep going into these toxic relationships because it's destroyed your self-worth. All right. So one of the things I will tell you is that you have to, so here we go into the segment of how not to let this destroy you, because it will if you let it. First is being aware of it. If you know you are dealing with a toxic person and they text you or they email you, before you even open up whatever they're about to say to you, you have to mentally prepare yourself for whatever that is going to be. And it's going to be, okay, I know they're probably going to blame me for every single thing. So if you pour your heart on the line and you tell them exactly how you feel, then you have to prepare yourself for exactly what's coming back to you. And you know that most of that is going to be blame on you. So you kind of have to put like a protective shield around yourself before you even open something like that. So if you're dealing with a narcissistic like ex-husband or ex-wife, and you had like said something that you want from them, and you know like they're kind of not going to agree with it, before you even open up something, you need to prepare yourself for what is in that email or text. Okay, so get yourself prepared, put a shield around yourself, give yourself a couple of minutes, maybe even a couple of hours, so that you don't get triggered from what is in there, because you're already prepared for them to put the blame on you, because this is the manipulation that they use. Okay. The other thing you got to know is that it's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to feel and to think what you think. Okay. You're not crazy. So you got to know that. And going along with that is that you really have to know your truth. When you know your truth and you know that you're coming from good intentions, it's going to be hard for someone to shake that from you. And even no matter what they say, you can take accountability for maybe some of what they're saying, right? I get that. But you can't take accountability for all of it. And if they're putting all the blame back on you and they're not saying they're sorry or taking any kind of accountability for what they've done on their part, then you need to know your truth. Now, let's talk about this for a minute, because this can get a little bit tricky, because knowing your truth doesn't just come from this relationship. Knowing your truth means that you know what person you are. You know if you're coming from good intentions. You know that you're good enough and that you're lovable and that you can have good relationships, whether it be friendships, romantic, family, whatever. So some of us have trouble with this because we've never had a good relationship. And it goes all the way back to childhood. And the women I work with in my From Pain to Power mentorship, like, we dive way back down into childhood, because that's where the root of the issue is. That's why we're in the toxic relationship and why we've stayed so long in the toxic relationship. So if you've had a hard childhood, if you have had, abuse, emotionally, sexual, physical in the past, or just been neglected, or what I usually say is just didn't get the love that you needed from your parents, whether they didn't even have to be bad. Maybe they were working. Maybe they were alcoholics, right? Maybe they just weren't around. Maybe they passed away. There's some part of you as a child that didn't get that love that you needed. And let me know if this is resonating with you guys, but like, you didn't get the love that you needed as that child. So therefore, it's going to be really hard for you to kind of stand in your confidence and know your truth when this person is telling you the complete opposite. So, but knowing your truth is really going to help you realize, be aware of this gaslighting, and know that you're better than this gaslighting, and not make you doubt it when it comes in, because you can be strong, but then when somebody says something against you, if you don't know your truth and know who you are, it's going to kind of get that self-doubt in there. So knowing your truth is the number one thing that you can do to avoid this gaslighting stuff, because you want to know your truth. You want to be confident in yourself. And you also want to be okay with being alone, because being alone, you're not just going to take what people say. You're going to wait, and you're going to be patient with developing relationships, and you're going to see if this gaslighting is happening, rather than jumping on in like the first or second date and saying, I love this person, right? He's my soulmate. That's what I hear a lot about narcissists. They're my soulmate. But know your truth and know that you're good enough to be patient for a relationship and to see how it blooms, and to give it a chance to see if there's any gaslighting or manipulation. Does that make sense to you guys? Okay. So that's number one. The next thing here, I'm going to go a little bit over a half hour, is what I always say is, like, don't worry about being right or wrong. For so much time, we focus on, am I right? Is he wrong? Is he lying? Am I right? And like, we focus on that. But really what you want to look at is that, do they make me feel good? Because if you're in a relationship, and this is, again, friendship, family, everything. And I used to be a person where it's like, family is family. We die, we ride, like we ride, we die, whatever that saying is. But like, it's kind of not true. I realize that now, is that you need your tribe around you. And if people are around you that don't make you feel good about yourself, and I'm not talking about like always validating you and stuff like that, but like take you down instead of just being there to support you and be your friend or your partner, you don't need those types of people in your life. And especially coming from a spirituality sense, you need to find your tribe that raises your vibe, right? And your vibe is your tribe. So if you have a tribe that is constantly putting you down, right, your vibe is going to be low. And it's going to be really hard for you to get out of that vibe if people are constantly downing you. So you want to make sure that you don't worry about if you're right or wrong. You worry about how this relationship makes you feel. And I always say, like, you see people for who they are, and then you get to choose who you want in your life, right? I accept everyone for who they are. However, I don't accept everyone into my life, as in my tribe, because I'm very protective of all the healing that I have done and the person that I have become. So you've got to be that high vibe, supportive person that doesn't bring me down and doesn't like down me, doesn't, tell me things like I'm crazy or that, and again, I hope you guys understand that. I'm not saying they have to like praise you, but what I am saying is that they can't be abusing you, because that's not the people you need in your tribe, especially if you're trying to grow spiritually, especially if you're trying to open your psychic abilities, any of that, right? Especially if you're trying to be a light worker. Like, you need people around you that support you and are on the same level of vibration as you. Okay. So let me know what you guys think about this. Let me know let me see the comments here. Andrea says, it resonates with me. Father left and mother is emotionally withdrawn. Yeah. So that will definitely affect you in all of your relationships going forward until you can heal from that. I was with my ex for 7 years, totally toxic. Took me 2 years to fully cut him off. I've never felt so free. That's awesome. Let's see. Let me go up here a little bit. Go no contact. A lot of value for sure. Thanks. Okay. Very emotional. Yep. Okay. Do people gaslight? Got that. He always had someone, never alone, one victim after another. It made me look like it was me. Oh, that's another good point, Melissa, right? So we can really, and this is just another manipulation tactic that they go to. It's like, once they're done with you, they're going to get to somebody else right away. And from the outside, it can look like that relationship is like, why couldn't he be like that with me? Right? So it makes you look like it's you. Again, making you look like you're the crazy one, telling you how great this person is and making you feel like you weren't great. It's all manipulation. Just realize that. They make you question your reality. Yep. And to get narc supply, no longer a victim, go no contact. That's exactly what he's done. He has blamed me for everything, yet he's the drug addict, told me it's all my fault. Exactly. Nope, don't believe it. Know your truth. Charlotte, thank you. Yes, just the case for me. I trust no one, and I have felt good enough for 10 years. Oh, that's not good to not trust nobody, though. You want to get to a point where you can trust people because you trust yourself. And that's another thing that I work with women on, is that you can trust to have another relationship. But the person that you don't trust is not them. It's actually you. Because if you trust yourself to make good decisions and be able to recognize the red flags, you'll be able to have other relationships. Not felt good. Yeah, not felt good enough. Okay, Charlotte. Craig, they will only say they're sorry if they have something to gain out of it. Oh yeah, they'll say they're sorry, they'll cry, they'll make all that emotional show. And then it's not real. It's just really not real. And you'll realize that. I remember standing in my apartment going, okay, I'm ready for the show. It comes up, he's crying. And I'm like, okay, I got to go, and like, you just get used to the manipulation. And when you can see it, it's so much easier to kind of get out of it. I was with my ex for 7 years, totally toxic. Took me to, oh yeah, I just read that one. Sorry. Okay. Let's see. I struggle sticking to, I do not need to justify and validate my feelings and sticking up for myself. Yeah, exactly. You don't. Walk away. Like, you don't need to fight. When somebody comes back at you and puts all the blame on you, there's no need in fighting about it, because they're never going to see your point. Right. And that's a whole nother topic, but you can actually check that out in my narcissism playlist on YouTube, guys. All right. So I agree. Oh, that just moved. If anyone is wondering, Danielle D walked next through a lot of it. Yeah. Who is that? Is that Sandy? Kim, I moved to take care of my dying parents. He cheated on me and got someone pregnant still with her. I'm waiting, only dated 4 times in 3 years, building myself up now to trust another man. Yeah, exactly. Sorry to hear that. It's so common. Because again, that's triangulation. They get somebody else, right? And then getting them pregnant, whew, good luck for that woman. And that's the thing, like from the outside, you might be like, oh, they're still together and she's pregnant and they're happy. You have no idea what's happening behind the scenes. And usually they're hopping from one codependent to another codependent. So believe me, whatever was happening in your relationship is happening there. Nobody saw it in your relationship from the outside. You only see it when you're in it, right? So do not believe that that relationship is any better than what you've been in. Okay, so anyway, all right, loving all the comments. Thank you guys so much for participating. I do have a favor for you guys. If this has resonated with you, I am looking to interview about 50 women. Sorry, guys, women. To kind of really dive in. So I'm looking to interview 50 women that have been through toxic relationships, have been through this gaslighting. I help women, heal from these toxic relationships, but I'm looking to create more masterclasses and more challenges, right? If you know my challenges, I love them. So therefore, I'm looking to kind of gain more insight onto what you guys need, where you're at, what you feel. So it would be like a 15-minute conversation. And I will just kind of ask you a bunch of questions just to kind of get an idea of where you're at and what you need help with. It is not a sales call. I'm not trying to get you into my program. I will not even be talking about the program on there, but I'm just looking for more information. So if you guys can help me out, can you just pop me an emoji in the comments below, and I will reach out to you with the link to kind of book the 15-minute call with me so that I can talk to you and kind of get an idea of what you're really, really struggling with. I mean, I think I have an idea, but I really want to talk to a bunch of you guys on here, ladies, sorry, ladies. And in doing that, I will also gift you a very, very powerful, and if you've been in my courses, you know how powerful this is, an inner child healing. So we talk about the inner child, and we do a very powerful intuitive Reiki healing session around the inner child, which especially if you've had that hard childhood, this is going to be very beneficial to you. So just pop an emoji in the comments, no matter where you're at, whatever, if you're on Facebook group, Facebook page, or in my YouTube channel, because I'm everywhere right now, which is pretty cool. Just pop the emoji in the comments below, and I will reach out to you with more details and kind of the link to book the call with me. All right. So 15 minutes max is your time. If you can do that, I'd really appreciate your time in order to really kind of help more women in this kind of aspect of toxic relationships and really kind of getting over it and getting through it and healing ourselves after it. And if you're interested in the From Pain to Power mentorship, it is available. It's a 8-week program where I bring women through to really help heal their childhood and kind of step into their spiritual being and release all of that and really kind of take your self-worth back. So you can type me in the comments below if you want more information on that. All right. But I'm really looking to interview you guys. All right. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I hope I have given you a lot to think about, and hopefully you're on the other side of this. But I want to say much love to you. Please, if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. If you're on Facebook, make sure you like it. I don't know. Anyway, much love to all of you, and I will talk to you next week. All right, bye.